Dr. Jin-Ho Lee looked out the small window of the spaceship as it approached the alien planet. The world below had purple oceans and green landmasses, nothing like Earth. After 3 years of travel, humans were about to meet the Arians for the first time. "Are you ready, Doctor?" asked Captain Minho, checking the landing systems. Jin-Ho nodded, though his heart beat faster. As Earth's top brain scientist, he had been chosen for this mission because the Arians were known to communicate in unusual ways. The ship landed smoothly on a flat area surrounded by tall, silver-colored plants. Jin-Ho put on his breathing mask and checked his translator device one more time. The air outside was safe, but different enough that humans needed masks for longer visits. When the door opened, bright light flooded the cabin. 3 figures stood waiting. They were taller than humans, with blue skin that seemed to shimmer. Their eyes were large and completely black, and they had 4 arms each. Jin-Ho stepped forward. "Greetings from Earth. We come in peace and friendship." The translator on his wrist converted his words into the musical sounds the Arians used. The tallest alien responded with a series of tones that Jin-Ho's device translated. "Welcome to Iria. I am Lena, scientist of mind studies." Jin-Ho smiled behind his mask. Another scientist. This was good luck. The aliens led the human team to a building made of a crystal-like material. Inside, the walls glowed with soft light, and strange plants grew from the floor. They sat around a table, and Jin-Ho noticed how gracefully the Arians moved, despite their size. "We have studied your messages for many years," Lena said. "Your way of communication is very different from ours." Jin-Ho nodded. "How do your people usually communicate?" Lena's skin changed color slightly, turning a deeper blue. "We share thoughts directly. Our minds connect without words." This surprised Jin-Ho. "You mean telepathy? You can read each other's minds?" "Not exactly," Lena explained. "We send and receive thoughts through special organs in our heads, but we cannot do this with humans. Your brains are different." Over the next few days, Jin-Ho learned more about the Arians. They lived in peaceful groups, sharing knowledge freely. They had never known war or serious crime because they could always understand each other perfectly. One afternoon, Jin-Ho was showing Lena pictures of Earth on his tablet. She seemed fascinated by oceans and forests. "Your world has so much water," she said, "and so many different living things." "Yes, Earth is very diverse," Jin-Ho replied, "but I wonder what it's like to share thoughts directly. It must prevent many misunderstandings." Lena looked at him with her large eyes. "Would you like to try?" Jin-Ho was surprised. "But you said it wasn't possible between our species." "I have been working on something," Lena said. She went to a shelf and returned with a small device that looked like a silver headband. "This might allow limited thought sharing between us." Jin-Ho hesitated. This wasn't part of the mission plan, but as a scientist, his curiosity was too strong. "How would it work?" he asked. "The device would translate your brain signals into patterns I can receive, and mine into forms you can understand," Lena explained. "It would be very basic, just simple thoughts and feelings." Jin-Ho thought about the scientific value of such an experience. "Would it be safe?" "I believe so," Lena said. "I have tested similar devices with other species on our planet." Before Jin-Ho could decide, Captain Minho entered the room. He looked concerned when he saw the device. "Dr. Lee, what's happening here?" he asked. Jin-Ho explained Lena's proposal. The captain frowned. "That's not authorized. We need to discuss this with Earth Command first." Later that night, Jin-Ho couldn't sleep. The possibility of experiencing alien thought communication was too exciting. He made his decision and sent a message to Lena. The next day, when they met, Lena seemed happy. "You wish to try the device?" "Yes," Jin-Ho said, "but we need to be careful and keep it between us for now." Lena's skin glowed slightly. "I understand. We will start with very simple connections. She placed the silver band on Jin-Ho's head and a similar one on her own. As she activated the devices, Jin-Ho felt a slight tingling sensation. Then something strange happened. He felt a presence in his mind, gentle and curious. It wasn't words exactly, but he somehow understood. Hello, human friend asterisk. Jin-Ho gasped. A new era of communication had just begun. Jin-Ho couldn't sleep that night. The brief mental connection with Lena had lasted only seconds, but it changed everything he understood about communication. He felt like a child who had just discovered a new sense. The next morning, he met Lena in her laboratory. The room was filled with strange equipment that hummed quietly. Through the large windows, he could see the purple sky of Iria. "Did you rest well?" Lena asked, her blue skin shifting to a lighter shade. "Not really," Jin-Ho admitted. "I kept thinking about yesterday's experience." Lena nodded. The first connection is always memorable. She gestured to a chair. "Please sit. I have improved the neural bridge device." Jin-Ho sat down, noticing that the silver headband now had additional small lights. "What changes did you make?" "I adjusted it to better match human brain patterns," Lena explained. "Your mind structure is different from ours. More compartmentalized." Captain Minho still didn't know about their experiment. Jin-Ho felt guilty about the secret, but his scientific curiosity was too strong. "Will this connection last longer?" Jin-Ho asked. "Yes," Lena said. "Perhaps several minutes, but we must be careful. Mental connection between different species has never been done before." She placed the device on Jin-Ho's head and a similar one on her own. The small lights began to pulse with a soft blue glow. "Ready?" Lena asked. Jin-Ho took a deep breath. "Ready." Lena touched a control on her wristband, and suddenly Jin-Ho's mind expanded. It wasn't like before. This time, he could feel Lena's presence clearly, like a gentle wave washing through his thoughts. "Can you understand me?" The question didn't come as words, but as a pure concept. "Yes." Jin-Ho tried to project back. "This is amazing." Jin-Ho felt a sensation like laughter, but it was more than sound or emotion. It was pure joy transmitted directly to his consciousness. "Your mind is so focused." Came Lena's thoughts. "You think one thing at a time." Jin-Ho was startled to realize that Lena was thinking about many things simultaneously. Her consciousness flowed in multiple directions at once, like water splitting into streams. "Is this how all Arians think?" he asked. "Yes. We process many thoughts together. It is normal for us." Jin-Ho tried to share memories of Earth. Blue oceans, green forests, busy cities. Lena responded with images of Iria, crystal forests that sang in the wind, underground lakes filled with glowing creatures, and massive gathering places where hundreds of Irians shared thoughts in harmony. Then Jin-Ho felt something strange. Some of Lena's memories seemed to stay in his mind, like echoes that didn't fade. "Lena, I think something is happening." He felt her concern immediately. "The connection is becoming too deep. We should stop now." But when she tried to end the link, nothing happened. The connection remained, growing stronger. Jin-Ho could feel his own thoughts mixing with Lena's, becoming difficult to separate. "The bridge is too stable." Lena's thought came with worry. "It's not disconnecting properly." Jin-Ho tried to remain calm, but fear was building. What happens if we can't separate?" I don't know. This has never happened before." Suddenly, the laboratory door opened. 2 Irians entered. One was Dr. Su, Lena's supervisor, and the other was a security officer. "What is happening here?" Dr. Su demanded, his skin darkening with alarm. Through the neural bridge, Jin-Ho could understand the rapid thought exchange between the Aryans. Dr. Su was angry and worried. "We need to disconnect them immediately," the security officer said, moving toward the control panel. "Wait," Jin-Ho tried to say, but his words came out slurred. The neural connection was affecting his physical control. Through their link, Jin-Ho felt Lena's quick thinking. If they force disconnect us, it could damage our minds. We need a gradual separation. What can we do? Jin-Ho asked, panic rising. We need to modify the bridge from inside. Lena explained. Know how the system works, but I need your human perspective to find a new approach. Jin-Ho concentrated, focusing his human problem-solving abilities. Together, they began working on a solution, their minds complementing each other in ways neither had imagined possible. As Dr. Su reached for the emergency shutdown, Jin-Ho felt a sudden clarity. Through their shared consciousness, he and Lena had created something new, a protocol that might allow them to separate safely. What do you mean by saying that you'll be inside me? Lena had asked during their first meeting about the neural bridge. Now they both understood the true meaning of that question. Their minds had connected in ways that would change both their species forever, if they could survive what came next. Jin-Ho felt like he was floating in a strange ocean of thoughts. His mind and Lena's were now so connected that he couldn't tell where his consciousness ended and hers began. Dr. Su was shouting something, but the words seemed distant and unimportant compared to this incredible experience. Through their merged minds, Jin-Ho and Lena worked quickly to create a safe separation protocol. It was like solving a puzzle where the pieces were made of pure thought. "Do not touch that control," Dr. Su yelled at the security officer. "If you force them apart now, you could cause permanent brain damage to both." The security officer stepped back, his blue skin turning pale with worry. Inside the neural bridge, Jin-Ho experienced something impossible. He could feel what it was like to be Aryan, to have 4 arms, to see colors humans could never perceive, to understand the world through senses he never knew existed. This is extraordinary, Jin-Ho thought. Yes, and dangerous, came Lena's response. Our minds are merging too deeply, Jin-Ho suddenly realized he could access Lena's memories as if they were his own. He saw her childhood, learning to use her mind-sharing abilities with her family. He experienced her first scientific discovery, her hopes for peaceful contact with humans. At the same time, Lena was exploring Jin-Ho's memories, his struggle to become a scientist, his excitement about space travel, his lonely nights studying the stars and wondering what life existed beyond Earth. We need to focus, Lena's thoughts pulled him back to their problem. The longer we stay connected, the harder it will be to separate. They worked either to modify the neural bridge from within. Jin-Ho's sequential logical thinking complemented Lena's ability to process multiple ideas simultaneously. They created a new kind of connection that would allow them to separate safely. Meanwhile, in the laboratory, Dr. Su was examining the neural bridge equipment. "What have they done?" he asked, his voice filled with awe. "The connection patterns are changing on their own." On the monitor, complex patterns shifted and evolved. The security officer looked confused. "Is that normal?" "Nothing about this is normal," Dr. Su replied. "They are creating something new, a hybrid neural pattern." Inside the merged consciousness, Jin-Ho felt something strange happening. The thoughts he was thinking, were they his or Lena's? He couldn't tell anymore. Ideas flowed between them without barriers. Together, they understood concepts that neither could grasp alone. We are becoming something else. Came a thought that belonged to both of them. Is that bad? Jin-Ho/Lena wondered. It is unknown, was the answer they gave themselves. They continued working on their separation protocol, but now with a strange reluctance. The experience of being merged was beautiful in ways neither had expected. Jin-Ho understood, for the first time, what it meant to never be alone with your thoughts. Lena experienced the intense focus of a single human mind, like seeing through a powerful telescope instead of the wide view she was used to. In the laboratory, Captain Minho had arrived, alerted by the commotion. "What's happening to Dr. Lee?" he demanded. Dr. Su turned to him with large black eyes. "Your scientist and Lena have created a merged consciousness. We've never seen anything like it." "Is it dangerous?" Minho asked, looking at Jin-Ho's peaceful but unmoving body. "We don't know," Dr. Su admitted, "but they appear to be working on something together." Inside the merged mind, Jin-Ho and Lena had made a discovery. The neural patterns they created together were more stable and efficient than either human or Aryan patterns alone. They could process information faster, solve problems more creatively, and experience reality more fully. We could stay like this, came the thought. But should we, came the response. They considered the implications. To remain merged would mean giving up their individual identities. To separate would mean losing this expanded consciousness. There might be a middle path. They realized together. They began to design a new kind of neural bridge, one that would allow them to separate but maintain a partial connection. They would be individuals again, but with the ability to share thoughts when needed. As they worked, they felt the merged consciousness starting to stabilize. Their separate identities began to re-emerge, like islands appearing as a flood recedes. Jin-Ho. Lena's thought came clearly as her own. "I'm here," he responded, recognizing his own mental voice again. "Are you ready?" She asked. Yes, he decided. It's time to become ourselves again, but changed. Together, they activated their new protocol. The merged consciousness began to separate, gently and safely. But as they parted, something remained. A thin bridge between their minds, a connection they had created together. In the laboratory, Jin-Ho's eyes slowly opened. He looked at Lena, who was also waking up. Without speaking, they smiled at each other, knowing they would never truly be separate again. Jin-Ho blinked as his vision cleared. The laboratory came back into focus, and he could see Captain Minho staring at him with concern. "Are you all right, Doctor?" Minho asked, reaching out to steady him. Before Jin-Ho could answer, the laboratory door burst open. 3 tall Aryans entered, their blue skin pulsing with angry red patterns. Jin-Ho immediately recognized the leader, Da, the head of Aryan security, known for his distrust of humans. "This experiment ends now," Da announced, his voice cold. "The Council has not approved this level of neural sharing." Dr. Su stepped forward. "Da, please. This is a scientific breakthrough. Look at the data." "I don't need to see data," Da interrupted. "Humans cannot be trusted with direct access to our thoughts. It is too dangerous." Jin-Ho felt a gentle touch in his mind. Lena, using their remaining neural connection, has always feared outside contact. He believes humans will use our technology against us. Can we talk to him? Jin-Ho thought back. He won't listen. He sees our connection as proof that humans can invade our minds. Day pointed at the neural bridge equipment. "Disconnect everything and erase all research data." By order of the Security Council, the 2 Aryans with him moved toward the control panels. One began typing commands into the system. "Wait," Jin-Ho said, standing up despite feeling dizzy. "You don't understand what we've created." Day turned to him, eyes narrowing. "I understand perfectly, human. You have accessed Aryan consciousness without proper authorization. This technology could be weaponized." Through their connection, Jin-Ho could feel Lena's growing alarm. Day is not just erasing data. He's activating the neural purge protocol asterisk. Asterisk, what does that mean? Asterisk, Jinho asked mentally. Asterisk, it will destroy any remaining neural bridge between us, forcibly and completely. The shock could damage our minds permanently asterisk. Jinho felt cold fear spread through him. He looked at Lena, whose skin had turned pale blue with fear. Captain, Jinho said quickly to Minho, we need to protect the equipment. If they shut it down wrong, it could hurt both of us. Minho nodded and stepped between the Irians and the main control panel. I must ask you to stop. This involves the safety of my crew member. Day's skin darkened with anger. This is an Irian matter. Step aside, human. The tension in the room grew thick. Dr. Su tried again to reason with Dai, but the security chief ignored him. Inside their partial connection, Jinho and Lena worked frantically. Asterisk, we need to protect our neural pattern, asterisk, Lena explained. Asterisk, if we can transfer it to a secure location, we can prevent the purge from reaching our minds, asterisk. Jinho had an idea. Asterisk, what about my tablet? It's not connected to your network, asterisk. Asterisk, yes. We can use the neural bridge to transfer the pattern. Quickly, asterisk. While the argument continued in the laboratory, Jinho slowly reached for his tablet computer. He activated it under the table, keeping it hidden from Da's view. Through their connection, Lena guided him through a series of commands. Jinho had never typed so fast in his life. Their shared consciousness allowed him to understand Irian programming code that would have been impossible for him to comprehend alone. Meanwhile, one of Da's assistants had pushed past Minho and reached the control panel. Initiating neural purge in 10 seconds, he announced. No, Dr. Su shouted, but he was held back by the other security officer. Jinho felt Lena's presence in his end growing fainter as the purge began to affect their connection. They were running out of time. Asterisk, almost there, asterisk, he thought to her, fingers flying across his tablet. Asterisk, just a few more seconds, asterisk. Lena's response was weak. Asterisk, scurry. Asterisk. The laboratory lights flickered as the purge program activated. Jinho felt a sharp pain in his head, like something was being torn away. Lena gasped and fell to her knees, her skin turning almost white. At that exact moment, Jinho pressed the final command on his tablet. A small light blinked green, confirming the transfer was complete. The neural bridge equipment shut down completely. Da looked satisfied. It is done. The connection is severed. Jinho pretended to look disoriented and defeated. He helped Lena to her feet, and they exchanged a meaningful glance. Little did Da know that they had managed to save the most important part of their shared consciousness. The neural pattern was now safely stored on Jinho's Earth device, protected from Irian security protocols. Asterisk, can you still hear me? Asterisk, Jinho thought cautiously. After a moment of silence that felt like forever, a faint response came. Asterisk, yes. Weakly, but yes. We did it, asterisk. Though their connection was now just a whisper compared to what it had been, they had preserved something precious. And they both knew they weren't going to give up that easily. 2 weeks had passed since Da's intervention. Jinho sat alone in his quarters on the Earthship, staring at his tablet. The small device contained something precious, the neural pattern he and Lena had saved before the purge. Their connection remained, but it was faint, like a whisper from across a large room. Official meetings between humans and Irians continued, but under strict new rules. No neural technology was allowed. Jinho had been forbidden from working directly with Lena again. A soft beep from his tablet interrupted his thoughts. A message appeared. Garden. Sunset. Alone. Jinho smiled. The message came through the regular communication system, but he knew who it was from. He could feel Lena's excitement through their weak connection. The garden was a neutral area where both species could meet without special permission. As the purple sun of Iria began to set, casting long shadows across the crystal plants, Jin-Ho found Lena waiting by a small pond. "You came," she said, her blue skin glowing softly in the fading light. "Of course," Jin-Ho replied. "Have you found something?" Lena looked around to make sure they were alone. "Yes, I've been studying our saved neural pattern. It's evolving." "Evolving? How?" "The pattern is adapting itself, becoming more stable." Lena's eyes shined with excitement. "I think it's creating a new type of connection, one that doesn't require the original equipment." Jin-Ho felt a surge of hope. "You mean we might be able to restore our connection without the neural bridge device?" "Not just restore it," Lena said. "Improve it, and potentially share it with others." They sat down beside the pond, speaking quietly as the stars began to appear in the sky. "Die, and the Security Council would never allow it," Jin-Ho said. "Not at first," Lena agreed. "But what if we could prove it's beneficial? What if we could show that human and Aryan minds working together can solve problems neither could solve alone?" Jin-Ho considered this. "We would need a real problem to solve, something important enough that they couldn't ignore the results." As if answering their question, a loud alarm suddenly echoed across the settlement. Red lights flashed in the distance. "What's happening?" Jin-Ho asked, standing up quickly. Lena's skin paled. "That's the environmental alert. Something's wrong with the atmospheric processors." They rushed toward the main control center. When they arrived, they found chaos. Aryans moved quickly between workstations, their skin patterns showing panic and confusion. Dr. Su noticed them and hurried over. "The main processor is failing," he explained. "Toxic gases are building up in the lower atmosphere. If we can't fix it in the next 6 hours, we'll need to evacuate the entire northern continent." "Can we help?" Jin-Ho asked. Dr. Su looked desperate. "The system is too complex. Our best engineers can't find the source of the failure." Jin-Ho and Lena exchanged a glance. Through their faint connection, they shared the same thought. This was their chance. "We might have a solution," Lena said carefully. "But you won't like it." 20 minutes later, they stood before an emergency meeting of the council. Dad was there, his face dark with anger as Lena explained their proposal. "You want to reconnect your minds?" he asked in disbelief. "After we specifically forbade this technology. The neural pattern we saved has evolved," Lena explained. "It's more stable now and safer. With Jin-Ho's human problem solving and my knowledge of Aryan systems, we might be able to identify the problem quickly." "And if you fail?" Da challenged. "Then nothing is lost," Jin-Ho said simply. "The evacuation continues as planned." After heated debate, with toxic gas levels rising by the minute, the council reluctantly agreed. They had no better options. In a small room adjacent to the control center, Jin-Ho and Lena sat facing each other. The tablet containing their neural pattern connected to a simple interface Lena had quickly built. "Ready?" she asked. Jin-Ho nodded. "Ready." They activated the program. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, like a dam breaking, their minds connected again, but differently than before. This time, they remained distinct individuals while sharing thoughts freely. It was perfect balance between union and separation. Together, they dove into the atmospheric processor data. Jin-Ho's human brain saw patterns that Aryans missed. Lena understood systems that Jin-Ho couldn't comprehend alone. Within an hour, they found the problem. A subtle programming error in the backup systems that was causing a cascade failure. The fix was simple once identified. As the alarm shut off and relief spread through the control center, Jin-Ho and Lena remained connected, smiling at each other. "This is just the beginning," Lena thought to him. "Yes," Jin-Ho agreed. "The evolution of two species working as one." In the months that followed, carefully selected human-Aryan pairs began training with the new neural connection system. Each pair discovered what Jin-Ho and Lena already knew, that together they became something greater than either could be alone. What had started with a curious question, "What do you mean by saying that you'll be inside me?" had become the first step toward a new kind of shared consciousness that would eventually take both species to the stars.